welcome everybody once again for Action Theater. Today's feature will be from 2002, War About Vietnam, starring Mel Gibson, directed by the same director of Braveheart, Randall Wallace, also starring Madeline Stowe, Greg Kinnear, you know him, the man with the mustache and the voice, Sam Elliott, Chris Klein, Kerry Russell, and he was our favorite sniper in Saving Private Ryan, Barry Pepper. Also, Ryan Hurst was also in Saving Private Ryan.
Yes, he was.
Jumping from what?
Yeah,
Ryan
Hurst. I was agreeing. Yes, he is in Saving Private Ryan. Correct.
Yeah. Robert Bengel, Mark Lucas, John Hamm, Clark Gregg, Joseph Garcia, Josh Doherty, Desmond Herron.
Desmond Harrington. Yep, from Dexter.
Herron.
Yep.
Dylan Wash.
Oh yeah, he's in this. Yeah. I'd forgotten who all was in this.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And read the quick synopsis.
All right. We Were Soldiers. This is from 2002. Listed as a historical drama. And it is the story of the first major battle of the American phase of the Vietnam War and the soldiers on both sides that fought it. Yes, and based on the novel by two of the guys who were there. Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore is played by Mel Gibson here, and Joseph Galloway is played by Barry Pepper. So, yeah, kind of a bit of a spoiler alert. The two of them survive. Yeah, very good film. And when I saw this with my dad, he said that he felt it was one of the most realistic Vietnam films he'd seen, and he didn't throw that around lightly. So,
now this was quite a bit of world or Vietnam War films. Of course, Robin Williams. You know Robin Williams. He did the Good Morning Vietnam. And many others.
And hello to Mama Pray 5. You can't stay, but wanted to get a like and say hi.
Hello, Mama Pray. Thank you for dropping in.
My co-host on the Mystery Movie Night podcast, Enigma Severus. I do want to really quickly break down for everybody what exactly it is that goes on during a watch party. Now, in the United States, there are copyright guidelines that we have to follow. So we can't air the film live as much as we would very much like to. The only way we would be able to do that would be to basically turn the movie into a slideshow, cover it in watermarks, or basically have to stop the film every 8 seconds. Needless to say, we would rather bring you the entire film. So here's what we do. And what most people do on watch parties is we are going to drop a link to the Cosme app where you can follow along with us live and watch the movie along with us. If you are not watching us live, you can follow along with your own copy. The movie is available on physical media. There is a 4K that I think is already out or very soon will be. So it's out there. It's on DVD. It's on Blu-ray. It goes back far enough. There might even be a VHS. Who knows? Um, but it's out there in physical media. It is also available on Fandango at home, and I believe it is also currently on Amazon right now. I might be mistaken about that, but I'm pretty sure. And usually places like Tubi and Pluto TV have large libraries. You can follow along in that way as well. So what Bill and I are doing here today is essentially like a commentary track on a DVD. And what we're going to do is once we start the movie, we are going to put the commentary only banner up on the screen. And that is when you can sync up your copy of the film with us. That's if you are not watching live. But if you are watching live, we do have a Cosme link that is at the top of all of our chats. We're doing the whole vertical thing as well, so people are watching on their phones. Hello to everybody who is watching that way. So you should have the Cosme link in all of the chats, either at the bottom of the screen, either at the bottom of the chat or at the top, depending on where YouTube has decided to put it today. Kind of have to guess. So you can follow along with this live and watch the movie along with us.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna give it a count down to 5 seconds. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and go.
Hello to Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member of the Bird Woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary. And Enigma is perfectly right. Yeah, just follow along with us on Cosme and hang out. Watch a movie in the privacy of your own home. Grab a snack. Sit, take a chill.
And let me know if there's any problems in the screening room, and we'll fix it. We might have to adjust. Sometimes as we sometimes do.
Have the Icon Productions logo, which is Mel Gibson's production company, and Barry Peppers as Joseph Galloway narrating the film. And a hello to Rano4Z6E. Cosme link is at the top of the chat. Please feel free to join us in the Cosme. The film's just started. You haven't missed anything. This is the film starts out in 1954 when the French are still fighting in Vietnam. Drang Valley.
And hello to Connie Clary, the Bird Woman on YouTube. Always good to see you. Whoa, we started out.
Yeah.
French. Oh my gosh, that was pretty brutal. Right through the neck as he blowing the bugle.
Yeah, this movie is yeah, it's intense. Doesn't pull any punches. And the fella here plays the Vietnamese commander. You might remember him from the movie Rules of Engagement with Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel L. Jackson.
And if they didn't have a bullet, they would have used their benet to stab you right through the.
And that's
Yeah.
yeah. And I do very highly recommend that you go out and find a book and read it, because it doesn't just cover this battle. It covers several others as well. And also, if you can find it, pick up the soundtrack album as well.
Fort Benning, Georgia, 1964.
Yep. Fella on the left there, he's also in Sons of Anarchy. And a couple of the kids here went on to be in other things as well. Taylor Momsen's probably the most recognizable.
Greg Kinnear was most famous for his show on what was that network? But it was called Talk Soup or something.
It was the show was called Talk Soup, and was on I believe it was on E.
Yeah, Ian Hammett.
Mm-hmm.
And also became famous when he did the As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson and what I can't think of the blonde. What's the blonde's name from that show?
Helen Hunt.
Yeah, Helen.
Helen Hunt. Yeah.
Yeah, that Talk Soup was the inspiration behind my first show here on YouTube, the Insomniac Soup. Written for screen and directed by Randall Wallace. Who worked with Mel Gibson in 1995's Braveheart.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we meet Greg Kinnear, Bruce Crandall, a.k.a. Snake.
He plays an airborne helicopter pilot. He is a tall guy.
Not too tall.
Hey, he must be what, 6'8" or
Oh,
something.
easy.
Tall
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. Nope.
And here we got the man with the stash who has no stash. The man with the
The man, the
mustache
myth, the
has no
legend.
stash. That legendary mustache, he had to shave it. He shaved it off for it.
Sam Elliott is Sergeant Major Basil Plumley. Was a rather formidable guy, from what I understand. Most people were rather scared of him.
I think Sam Elliott may or not have been paid extra to shave his mustache off for this film, and his
I
wife
think he
didn't
was. Yeah.
like it, and the wife didn't like it. You know.
As you see,
Oh, and the guy from Agents of Shield is in this. I just
yep,
noticed that guy.
Clark Gregg, yeah, Colson, John Hamm, of
Hail
course, you
to
see there in that
FKHD
scene, and
2005.
hey Tim, and the guy who's uh, two spaces down on the right from John Hamm there was in the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
This may be the only film you see Sam Elliott without the mustache. That there is the M60 machine gun, also used by John Rambo in the Rambo films.
He ain't being shot at.
Yeah. Not get on the chopper, get off the chopper. I think she listened a letter there. She said Methodist instead of Methodist.
Yeah, but that,
Okay. I don't understand the feet shot that showed that the daughter had bare feet and that he had his boots on. I think in real life, Mel Gibson has like 7 children. In this one, he has what, 5?
hmm. Yeah, he's got a bunch of kids. Of course, he gets married every few years too. So
Ryan Hirsch
they got a
without
50-50 shot at
facial hair.
this.
Ryan Hirsch without facial hair looks different.
Yeah.
He did those. He did roles in Son of Anarchy and The Walking Dead, where he was both covered in facial hair and beards and hair extensions.
And under fire. Well, were. Yeah.
You work it out, son. He's
It's
still
supposed to
that
be
man with a beard,
grandpa.
even though he doesn't have a mustache. Exactly, Tim. Nobody wants to hear that sound of the warfare going on. It's just sounds of horror. They're getting blisters on their feet. That really happens when hiking multiple distances.
Ladies.
Carrie Russell playing a pregnant woman.
Hmm? Yeah. Welcome to Georgia. Yeah, that's true. The real Bruce Crandall is still with us, 93 years old right now. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Which one's yours? All of them. Okay.
Hey, it's the kid from American Pie.
Yep.
A couple of years prior. FKH 2005 wants to remind us that Carrie Russell just turned 50 in March. Ah, she's looking good at her age.
Yeah. 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 I'm a I'm a 50ish years of age guy. I don't mind a 50-year-old woman around, especially one that takes care of herself. Not gonna lie.
I like that. A Northern Heathen Parish. Don't listen to them. So, so she's going to be a Methodist. Yeah, she's going to be a Methodist. Yep.
Yeah, you're going to be Methodist. Methodist, which is kind of a cross between Methodist, a Catholic, and a high amount of respect for ostriches. Tim in the chat is saying his second cousin, his dad's cousin, who, by the way, he's never met, was a dust off pilot in Nam. He's also a Huey pilot who shops where he works. I know.
Timestamp is 2740.
Thanks.
This is the night before their deployment.
Yeah.
Training's done. Now,
Now it's time for the real thing.
yeah.
Central Highlands, South Vietnam, 1965. Nope. hello to Daniel Berry Sports Highlights
Hello, Daniel Berry.
and Game at the First.
Timestamp 45:47.
Lizard. Ten 48 a.m. Landings on X-ray. No. Yep. Just a really short guy. Yeah, well, what else is new, right? 15 p.m. to Knoll.
Well, watch that sniper fire. No shit. Yeah, yeah, right. No shit.
You Buffy fans, you're not gonna like this. Uh
Oh, yeah. Hang on. I don't know what happened
oh.
there. We'll get it back. We'll get it back.
All right.
This happens sometimes, folks. We're sorry for that.
Yep, yep. Happens on live sometimes, folks. We'll be right back with you. You won't miss anything.
Okay, we should be back now at 52:31. You guys have it back?
Yeah, yeah, we're back. We're back.
Yeah.
Is that was
They're already gone.
th- yeah, those were Lieutenant Herrick's last words in real life.
Oh, the enemy's getting close.
I tried to sneak up on the wrong guy, didn't I? Landing zone Falcon,
Yep.
5 miles away from X-ray.
Now, this, unlike most of things, they have the artillery is the actual army artillery, not from aided from the Air Force.
And unlike most movies on Vietnam, this isn't a movie about the politics. This is a movie about kind of tactics, really, you know, and
Yeah.
kind of what actually happened on the day. It wasn't trying to. I mean, it's still an anti-war film because by the end of this, you don't want to see anybody on either side die. You've kind of had enough by the end. But most movies about Vietnam kind of denigrate the troops. This one doesn't.
Now you have to jump off the hill.
Yeah, you got to physically jump off the helicopter now. Yeah.
Children seven them the creek bed.
And this one goes through some pains to oh, goes through some pains to show you kind of where everybody is in at one point or another. I'm forgetting the word, but that's how well directed this is. You can, even though we're cutting back and forth to these different locations, you can, kind of where they are.
Bomb. Oh. That one was basically a dead stick when they crashed.
They're all coming now. U.S. Intelligence Headquarters, Saigon. Yeah. And the guy on the left there, you fans of the original Equalizer series might recognize Keith Sarabika, who was Kostmeyer. And when they brought his character back into Denzel Washington films, they cast Pedro Pascal, changed his name, and made him the villain. Watch the original Equalizer series, is basically what I'm saying, folks. Hasta la bye-bye. That's for those of you who forgot you're in a Mel Gibson movie.
Oh, no. He's gone again. The
3:34
Knoll,
p.m. The Knoll.
3:34 p.m.
Ugh. White phosphorus. Nasty shit.
Ugh. That was Ryan Hirsch's character, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is uh, this is Gagan's platoon moving in.
Oh, these guys are just getting slaughtered.
This is where we're seeing Barry Pepper for the first time. Joe Galloway.
Yeah, you went for different types of marksmen. This film, military photographer.
So, the reporter's out here, son. Can't kill him. He has to play Jay Leno later.
Mhm.
Daniel Roebuck in a cameo. I think that's the only time in the movie we see him. Hello. It's so frustrating because it's like they're right there. They can't
Yeah,
move. You know.
the Ridge, 2:23 a.m. And we're about halfway through it. 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 17 seconds. They're coming in waves, big waves.
Now, when I saw this movie the first time, I found the editing of this film to be very confusing. What you're actually seeing here when they cut back home to Madeline Stone, Carrie Russell, and this is actually happening after the battle is over. These scenes. And she's going to freak out because she thinks he's dead now. And I asked my dad about this, and said, did they really got like random cab drivers to like deliver these telegrams? And like in the early part of the war, yeah, this happened. Stuff like this. And we're also kind of getting some spoilers here because we haven't seen this woman's husband get killed yet. So you're like, the fuck? You know? What are we missing? Okay, take care, Connie. Have
Timestamp
fun.
1 hour, 24 minutes, 10 seconds. Yeah. No worries, Connie.
Yes, the fire on fire 3 shots from anything that looks suspicious. This is, of course, leading up to the now infamous broken arrow sequence.
Bullet jumped up and bit him in the ass. Oh, ooh, that's brutal. Catching that band-aid to the edge of the rifle. He got the camera shot right out of his hands. Jesus.
Pictures lying down there, Sonny. This thing today, boy. Whatever works, right? Here they come. Ain't over yet.
Timestamp 1 hour 35 minutes.
Broken Arrow.
Oh shit!
Incoming.
Yep. I might have gotten friendly fire in that one. Just a little bit. I don't have time to be on fire, damn it.
You don't want to do that.
Ugh. And threw down the weapon and picked up a camera. Yeah, they're still there, barely holding on.
They're looking for the men who are unaccounted for, of course, are Jack Gagan and Willie Godbolt. Nope. Luckily, your team is filled with you pissed off the wrong guys.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure this movie doesn't end until John Hamm runs out of cigarettes. Buster was a pussy. Daniel-san. The trick to blocking a punch. Don't be there. "5:57 a.m. the third day."
Guys, barely awake on the M60 gun.
Bayonets. Apt.
Toodles. And snake shit saves the fucking day. Ah, the tourists are here.
That's just the American fake media.
Mm,
Some fake media.
yeah, and trust me, they were fake as shit then.
How dare they ask those questions and
Yeah.
not get punched? I'd be wanting to punch some journalist right then.
And here's kind of the chief problem, which is they just went through that whole 3 day straight battle. All
And
those guys killed on both sides. And then you just pick up and you fly off. Not taking the land, not holding it.
I like what he tells Barry here. Show him, Joe. Gotta show him, Joe. First man to step off and first last man to step on.
Hmm. Yeah.
He removes the American flag from that broken branch and then he returns it.
Yeah.
Out of respect.
It is a sign of respect, yeah. Because he's right, because he knows what's going to happen, because he went through the French and probably the Japanese before that. And yeah.
She thinks she's getting a telegram.
Hmm.
But it's her husband. She braced for the worst news and then sees him to the best news. You can wake up now. You can go back to Daddy's home. Here we are at the Vietnam Memorial.
Mhm. And I was in Washington, D.C. I've been there a few times, but I had an opportunity once to go to the wall, to the memorial, and I have stood where Mel is standing right now.
And they're going to go through every name that was lost. And that's what Memorial Day this Monday is for those who did not come back. For every uncle, for every husband, father who did not return from wartime or battle. So that was We Were Soldiers. You shall, will you please consult the scrolls?
All right. We Were Soldiers was released March 1st, 2002. Estimated budget of 75 million, going on to gross over 115 million worldwide. Was nominated for a Harry Award. Couldn't tell you what that is, but there you go. ASCAP Film and Television Music Awards. Top box office films to Nick Laney Smith. Motion Picture Sound Editors USA Golden Reel Award nomination. Best Sound Editing and Domestic Features, Sound Effects and Foley. Winning the Best Movie for Mature Audiences from the Movie Guide Awards. Winning the Yoga Award for Worst Foreign Film. Fuck off, whoever you guys are.
Yeah.
Nominated for 3 Taurus World Stunt Awards. And if there's any group that deserves an Oscar category, it's stunt artists. Best Fire Stunt, Algodo, Spencer Sano, large planes drop bombs on a battlefield, setting the field on fire. Viet Cong are engulfed in fire and stuntmen perform full fire burns. Bombs continue to drop as stuntmen emerge from large explosions. Best Stunt Coordinator and or Second Unit Director featured Alan Graff. You might not know that name, folks, but trust me, in a lot of the movies that we've shown on Action Theater, that man's been in them at some point or another. He goes way back. He was one of the Cajuns in Southern Comfort. That was the first time I remember seeing him. Best Fire Stunt, John Meyer and Spencer Sano. Large bombs ignited. 2 soldiers are caught in its flames. 2 stuntmen perform full body burns, while other soldiers sealed themselves in the blast. All right. Filming locations. Pasadena, California. Columbus, Georgia. Morro Bay, California. Castle Green Apartments, 99 South Raymond, Pasadena, California, where Lieutenant Colonel Moore is debriefed by General Westmoreland and Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara after the battle at X-Ray. And this is a deleted scene that you can find on the Blu-ray. Fort Hunter Liggett, California, for the battle scenes. All right. And the rest that I'm about to read off are all in Fort Benning. 178 Miller Loop, Lieutenant Colonel Moore's base residence. 174 Miller Loop, Captain Metzger's base residence. 153 Sigerfoos Road, Doughboy Stadium's 7th Cavalry Ceremony. New Soldier Plaza, Wold Avenue, Sigerfoos Road. Sergeant Savage greets Sergeant Major Plumley here on 2 occasions. Riverside Commandment's Home, 102 Vibert Avenue, celebration dance for the 7th Cavalry before deployment. 91 Miller Loop, Lieutenant Gagan's based reference. Burr Street between Holt Street and Chesney Street. Moore family arriving at Fort Benning in their station wagon with U-Haul trailer driving by stag display airplanes. Lawson Army Airfield Hangar Number 2, Bradshaw Road, Crandall and the 11th Air Assault Helicopter Battalion playing baseball on the tarmac. Lawson Army Airfield Hangar Number 2, Bradshaw Road. Lieutenant Colonel Moore, Sergeant Major Plumley introduced themselves and welcomed their officers to the new cavalry hangar interior. The Infantry Chapel, Lauber Street and Sigerfoos Road. Catherine Metzger sings On a Solid Rock I Stand, also cameos by Hal Moore and Barbara Gagan with their respective families in a deleted scene. All right, and on to the trivia. The entire film was digitally color corrected at full 2K resolution. Kenny Thomas, who acted as a military advisor, technical advisor, and an extra in this film, fought in Mogadishu with the 3rd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment in 1993, the battle depicted in Black Hawk Down. On that same trip where I went to the memorial, I actually saw Kenny Thomas in person. I didn't get to talk to him or meet him, but yeah, he went on to become a country singer after the Black Hawk Down incident and after he left the military. So I've heard him perform personally. 875,000 feet of film was shot, roughly 150 hours. It took the editing team 6 days, day and night, to watch it all. During the last year of production, sound engineer Steve Bartkowitz consulted the Frederick Military Academy alumni webmaster Richard W. Abrams, who went uncredited, to determine which French bugle call would have been played during the opening massacre sequence. For historical accuracy, Abrams was also called upon to determine if the bugle call would have remained the same today as in the year of the massacre. The bugle call was found on a French military website and forwarded to Bartkowitz. The French bugler shot in the beginning is portrayed by writer-director Randall Wallace's real-life son. A good amount of the musical score is based around the song Sergeant Mackenzie, which plays during the closing credits of the film. A theatrical re-release in September 20th, 2002 in Arizona saw the world premiere of Randall Wallace's sonic whole overhead sound format, on which the cinema's audio system features a new ceiling speaker channel to convey height information. The mix was created by Mark P. Steckinger in association with Dolby Labs and Tadeo Soundlux. The A6 intruder footage was originally shot for Flight of the Intruder. This was necessary because the A6 had been retired several years before this film was made, and so none were available to use in the movie. Although many of the names are never really seen or said throughout the movie, very careful attention was paid to ensure every member of the company was represented properly in the film. For every person that was a member of the company in real life, there was an actor on screen, most of whom resembled the actual soldiers themselves. Was originally scheduled for a 2001 release, but that was pushed back so Chris Klein could work on American Pie 2. The closing music, Mansions of the Lord, has become the unofficial Army funeral hymn. It was used as the recessional at former President Ronald Reagan's funeral. A total of 3 soldiers were awarded the Medal of Honor for the battle represented in this film. Joseph Marm Jr. received his shortly after the battle. Ed Freeman on July the 6th, 2001. Ed Freeman, a.k.a. Too Tall. And Bruce P. Crandall on February 26, 2007. Freeman and Crandall were helicopter pilots who flew frequent relief and resupply missions into the heart of the battle when the medevac choppers could not approach. The first scenes in Vietnam show a battalion sign that says Gary Owen. This was the famous marching song of the 7th Cavalry and is actually one word. Moore's unit is redesignated the 1st Battalion of the 7th Cavalry, General George Custer's, in the film Little Big Man. Custer's unit plays Gary Owen while they commit the massacre at Washita Creek. The ammunition pouches used by many of the actors in the movie were the short version, designed to accommodate the 20-round M16 magazines. These pouches, however, were not issued until 1968, 3 years after the film was set. Before this film was made, the short-style pouches were common and readily available, but because the props department bought so many for filming, they are now very rare collectibles on the surplus market. One of the real-life officers who survived the battle was Lieutenant Rick Rescorla, who is the main figure on the cover of General Moore's book on which the movie was based. A biography of Mr. Rescorla's very interesting life was published in the mid-2000s called Heart of a Soldier. He died in the 9/11 attacks while employed as head of security for Morgan Stanley, making sure all of the company's employees had gotten out of the World Trade Center. They had. So he rescued them all before he was killed when the tower fell. In the shot of the hospital nursery early in the movie, one of the babies is named Papik, hand printed on a card attached to the bassinet. Michael Papik is the armorer for this film, and given the massive scale of the arms and ammunition needed for filming, he played a central role in creating this movie. In fact, in the credits, he is listed as Master Armorer, and 3 assistants are credited as weapons armorers. It is doubtful that any other movie is ever needed and credited for armorers. Naming the baby Papik so prominently was a well-deserved tribute to his contributions. Dennis Leary was considered for the role of Bruce Crandall. The barracks out of which the soldiers file before loading the buses belonged to A Company, 1st of the 107th Parachute Infantry Regiment Airborne School. They are just across the street from the scene where they load the buses. The road the buses are traveling on is the 1st of the 507th PIR running track. Machine gunner specialist Bill Beck returned home and became a greeting card artist with Hallmark Cards in Kansas City, Missouri. Approximately 40 years later, he was awarded the Silver Star for his service in Vietnam. Joseph Galloway was awarded a Bronze Star for gallantry for carrying wounded men to safety at the Battle of Haidian in 1965. He was the only civilian awarded the Bronze Star during the Vietnam War. According to American sniper Chris Kyle, this film is shown to U.S. Navy Special Forces recruits to inspire them before they begin the Hell Week stage of their SHIELD training.
Oh.
The bugle call for halt used by the French outfit in the opening scene was the call for forward march in the U.S. Army during the Civil War. Mel Gibson, who portrayed Colonel Moore in this film, is also famous for his role as Detective Martin Riggs in the Lethal Weapon film franchise. In Lethal Weapon, the Battle of Haidian is mentioned by Riggs' his partner, Roger Murtaugh, who states that he escaped being seriously wounded or killed in action while serving there, only because his friend took a bayonet in the lungs for him. Patrick Saint-Esprit and Ryan Hurst both appeared on Sons of Anarchy.
Yep.
However, they share no scenes together in this film. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure they did in Sons of Anarchy either, to be honest. Anyway, most of the rifles used in the film are actually the M16A1, identifiable by the forward assist on the right side of the rifle. The M16A1 was not introduced until 1967, but it was likely used in place of the historically accurate M16 in the film, because the latter would have been nearly impossible for the film's armorers to acquire in the numbers necessary for the film. The first M16 had design flaws that caused serious jamming during fire and was recalled so the A1 could replace it. The recall of the rifles is probably the biggest factor in contributing to their scarcity for this film. Some of the helicopters were added to the screen digitally in post-production. The photos are production stills from the movie. The real Galloway says he wishes they'd used his actual photos from the battle. I agree.
Yeah.
The movie's 6 Huey helicopters were rented from private donors and not the military. Some Vietnamese actors in the movie had actually been in the North Vietnamese Army. And I'm willing to bet you that first guy they find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Written all over his face.
Yeah.
Madeline Stowe spent time with the real Julie Moore to learn, quote, what it was like to be a service wife. According to sound designer Lon Bender, the movie has around 10,000 gunshots. Makeup artists made the soldiers look dirty by covering their faces in clay and wiping it off. Most movies don't film in chronological order, but this one was filmed in sequence, so when the soldiers leave for battle, so did the actors. According to Randall Wallace, the excitement was, quote, tangible. Mel Gibson calls the real Hal Moore an old knight in shining armor. He also calls his character's relationship with Basil Plumley good cop, bad cop. Yeah. Randall Wallace wanted to cast Chris Klein because of his warmth and authenticity. Many of the women in the film are soldiers' wives in real life as well. Mel Gibson has a big family, so he was completely comfortable around all the kids. Before filming, the actors went to a 2-week boot camp. Mel Gibson said it was the celebrity wimp version, but he thought it was hard anyway. The production tried to make most of the effects practical, which means the explosions were real and not computer generated. According to the real Joseph Galloway, when he visited the set, he couldn't even shake the hand of the actor playing Jimmy Nakayama. I got to think that brought back some stuff for him.
Yeah.
Ryan Hurst improvised the scene where he trips. Yeah, that was a nice addition. The real Joseph Galloway stepped out of the movie theater during a scene, but still approved of the film. His explanation was, that was my nightmare for 36 years. I don't want to see it again. According to Greg Kinnear, the real Bruce Crandall is, quote, larger than life, but he told me he was petrified. John Hamm later said in tribute to Sam Elliott that the then 58-year-old actor participated in the boot camp training along with the cast without exemption. Harold Moore retired as a lieutenant general. He died February 10th, 2017. Taylor Momsen, who plays one of Hal Moore's kids, went on to also star along with Jim Carrey in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and is now the singer for the band The Pretty Reckless. Her sister Sloane also appears in the film. The Wives Are Watching Television, which is airing the famous "Why Are We in Vietnam" speech by President Johnson, July 28th, 1965. John Hamm set a goal that he would give himself until the age of 30 to land a role in a feature film before he gave up on being a working actor. He turned 30 during the filming of this picture. The operations officer, Captain Matt Dillon, who's played by John Hamm in the film, later commanded the 2nd Battalion, 60th Infantry, 9th Infantry Division in Vietnam in 1969, succeeding Fred Keith Mahaffey. Fred Mahaffey would later become the youngest 4-star general in the modern history of the U.S. Army. Filmed at Fort Benning, Georgia in 2002, the hangar used by Mel Gibson's character to introduce his officers to the Huey and his plan to use the helicopter in combat was home to Alpha Company 14th Combat Support Hospital, CSH. Alpha Company was the medical portion of the CSH, pronounced like cash, consisting of emergency medicine, ER, intensive care unit, ICU, and intermediate care ward, ICW, pharmacy, laboratory services, and radiology X-ray technicians, X-ray services would also be included, as patient administration and medical maintenance personnel, soldiers from the headquarters and Bravo companies of the 14th Cash. The song "Hold On, I'm Coming" was not released until a year later in 1966, the year after the battle. Sam Elliott became so close to the real Basil Plumley and his family that during Plumley's funeral with military honors, Elliott sat in the front row beside Plumley's daughter as she received the folded flag. The real Harold G. Moore and Joseph Galloway traveled back to Vietnam after the war and met the real Nguyen Huan, who was part of their research for their book, so they could understand the battle strategy of the North Vietnamese at Nha Trang. Moore claimed he and An had no bitterness and respected each other as soldiers. Ryan Hurst and Barry Pepper both appeared in Saving Private Ryan. Hal Moore's lieutenant colonel during the battle signified by the silver oak leaf on his helmet and collar. Though not mentioned in the film, if you look closely, you can see a silver eagle on his collar when he returns home after his tour. This indicates that at some point after the battle, he was promoted to a full-bar colonel. Hal Moore would retire as a 3-star lieutenant general. During the scene where the medevac officer confronts Kinnear's Bruce Crandall, Ed Too Tall Freeman breaks up the fight, and the engineering corps castle insignia is visible on his uniform collar. This is accurate because despite being a pilot, Freeman was technically an engineering officer. The Army did not see aviation as an independent specialty until 1983 and sourced its pilots from volunteer officers effectively, quote, on loan from their controlling career brands, i.e. armor, infantry, artillery, quartermaster, etc. Pilots could, upon request or if ordered, return to their career branch for non-flying job assignments. During Vietnam, the number of pilots required also led to the revitalization of the warrants officer rank. Officers whose purpose was to fly without the Army needing to worry about their career progression in the traditional Army branches. The real Joseph Galloway died August 18th, 2021. The helicopters that are seen in Doughboy Stadium had to be transported on slow-moving flatbed trucks due to them being donated from Lawson AAF, about 2 miles west of the stadium. It took nearly 4 hours for Fort Benning MPs to escort the loads to their filming location. When the unit is preparing to be transported to Vietnam and are loading the buses, you can see blue flashing lights north of the actors. A member of 71st Military Police Detachment is blocking the intersection of Marchand Street and Edward Street to support this filming. Just beyond that intersection is the Fort Benning Provost Marshal's office. The red and white towers that are visible are the jump towers that have supported airborne training at Fort Benning since World War II. The first movie to use the 90th anniversary Paramount Pictures logo. Okay. The second major war film that Barry Pepper is in. He also acted in Saving Private Ryan as the Bible-quoting sniper Private Jackson. Breakout role of John Hamm. The film cast includes one Oscar winner, Mel Gibson, and 2 nominees, Greg Kinnear and Sam Elliott. Galloway says that he wanted to understand the war. The war is one of independence against France, a historically cruel and racist colonial power. Though the leader Ho Chi Minh had been an outspoken fan of Thomas Jefferson, including in the film's speech, the U.S. rebuffed him and sided with France, which was a key ally against the communism in Europe. The understanding that Galloway sought was that when a country sets aside its high ideals for political considerations, such a thing can backfire in horrific fashion. This film is unique in that it presents the NVA as soldiers fighting against a foreign occupier and not as monsters. On May 11th, 2023, Fort Moore, previously named Fort Benning in Georgia, was named in honor of Hal Moore and his wife. In March of 2025, the post was returned to its original name, Fort Benning. Coincidentally, sound designer Lon Bender would later work on the film Shock and Awe, which would portray Joseph Galloway during his contemporary journalist career during the invasion of Iraq. Upon arriving at the gates to Fort Benning, the guard force is required to state welcome home. In May of 2023, as part of the removal of names associated with the Confederacy, Fort Benning was renamed Fort Moore after General Hal Moore and his wife, Julia Compton Moore. In March of 2025, the Secretary of Defense ordered that the name Fort Moore be changed back to Fort Benning. The base name now pays tribute to Corporal Fred G. Benning, who was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross for his extraordinary heroism in action during World War I with the U.S. Army in France in 1918. Sam Elliott is in real life a Vietnam era military war. I am going to say that again. Sam Elliott is in real life God damn it. Sorry. Sam Elliott is in real life a Vietnam war era military, though he served stateside in the California Air National Guard. It's a simple sentence. I can't say it. Okay. All right. Here's the last few. The photographer Joseph Galloway married the daughter of Captain Thomas C. Metzger, who gave up his seat on a chopper to a soldier who was more severely wounded. Metzger was subsequently shot. when Second Lieutenant Henry Herrick is fatally wounded and giving his final orders, his pupils are small as he is looking up into the bright sky. When he dies, they can be seen to fully dilate over the course of a few seconds, as would happen in real life. After the battle, both sides claimed victory. And that is it. The scrolls are closed. All right. Yeah, there's a lot more out there that you can read. Like I said, read the book by General Moore and Joe Galloway. IMDb can be light on things, and like I said, the book does not just cover this battle; it covers several others. So please go seek it out. It's out there. Please read it. And like I said, pick up a physical copy of the film if you don't have one. And also the soundtrack album as well. All right. I do want to remind everybody that our Salute to the Troops, our month-long Salute to the Troops, will continue. This upcoming Sunday at 4:30 on Western Cinema Presents, as Bill and I complete the second half of the Gettysburg miniseries. And we have some other films coming up before the end of the month, including also Enemy at the Gates. We're also going to be viewing In Harm's Way. And on Memorial Day, on the 25th, at 3:05 p.m., this upcoming Monday, The Longest Day.
Yep.
Starring an all-star international cast.
And don't forget Action Theater Extra Dose with Enemy at the Gates.
Enemy at the Gates is going to be the next.
Yeah.
So yes. And what did I say? Yeah, Enemy at the Gates on Saturday as an Extra Dose.
And then
Gettysburg on Sunday.
The conclusion of Gettysburg, yes.
Yes, and then Monday, The Longest Day. And then next Thursday, In Harm's Way. Mm-hmm. And we're going to round out the month Saturday the 28th. It is Saturday, right? Saturday the 28th?
No, I think it's Friday.
Or is that a Friday? It's Friday? You sure? Yeah. Anyway, we're going to be rounding out the month with Thursday
the 28th. Yeah.
Okay, Thursday the 28th with 1917.
Yep.
All right. As for myself on my channel, tomorrow night at 11 p.m. will be Coming Attractions, where you get to find out what I am going to be up to in the following week, up to and including my appearance Saturday night. I'm going to be busy Saturday. Saturday night, I will also be joining Big Al Presents, along with Troy Pacelli and Netters Network, for Films with Friends. And we are going to be watching the Disney movie Tangled. It's going
Yeah.
to be a take on the Rapunzel story. And let's see. And Sunday night, because the Gettysburg episode is probably going to run a little bit long. We have a pretty extensive trivia section there as well.
Yeah.
So no unscripted this week, but I will be hosting Reserved Seats, episode number 36. I am going to be joined by Aged Boomer, and we are going to be talking about the recent spate of horror films and Shudder, in why it's probably our favorite streaming service, despite the fact that they canceled Joe Bob Briggs. But we'll get into that. And yeah, so that's actually going to be a fun show. We've got a couple. Boomer and I have a couple of movies we've been wanting to talk about for a while, and we're finally going to have the opportunity to do that this weekend. So yeah, and kind of make people aware of a couple of movies that are out there that we like that kind of flew under the radar. So join us for that show, because it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be right after his It's going to be at 11 p.m. And it's going to be right after his program, Geeky Geezers. So yeah, and Tuesday night, live from Sparkwood and 21 at 8:30, 7:30 Central, and then yeah, like I said, going to be back here, same bat time, same bat channel.
Yep.
Bill, what do you have coming up that we haven't mentioned yet?
I think we've pretty much got it covered. There'll probably be some karaoke this Saturday night, since there's no fight. Oh my gosh, that fight! You get to the main event and it's over in 17 seconds. It's like,
Yeah,
it's like, come on, what is this? It's kind of fixed. I'm so disappointed.
it came quick.
It was like the time that Mike Tyson bit what's his name Zero. It's like, what? It's over. It's over. I mean, you literally blink and it was done. It was just done.
It had to be over.
It happened so fast. The fight before the main event, before the ladies fight, that was the fight of the night. The undercard, or what they said was part of the primetime fights, was the best fight. It lasted the longest too, 2 rounds. Yeah, one guy got really bloody.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody. We even had Wes Cagle drop in here.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Great movie, Major Basil Plummy, my favorite character, best Sam Sargent. Plummy, Sam Elliott role, just ahead Wade Garrett of Wade Garrett rolled in Roadhouse. Yep.
Right on. And thank you, West Cagle, for joining us. Yeah. And thank you to everyone who joined us in the chat. Of course, Enigma Severus, as well as Gambit the First, Daniel Barry's, yeah, Mama Pray, and we had Connie Cleary, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights, FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. And we had over 140 people watching at one time or another during the course of the show. So thank you to everyone who dropped by or who might still be with us and are lurking in the chat, which is fine. You don't have to engage with the chat just as long as you enjoyed the show. Hit the like, share out the stream, say hello in the comments, suggest a film.
Yes.
Because we're always looking for new ones, both here and on the Western show that we haven't done yet. So can do that. And I want to once again remind everybody that due to the copyright constraints of YouTube in this country, at least, we cannot air the movie live, as we said at the beginning.
Yeah. No.
But the movie is out there. It is on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. It is available on Fandango at home. And I believe, I know Amazon had it at one time. That may have changed. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was on Tubi or Pluto TV as well, because they have pretty extensive libraries. And speaking of libraries, if you have a library card, Canopy is probably another place you could find this movie. I wouldn't be surprised if it was on that streamer as well. And as I always say at the end of every broadcast from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.
All right. And now, as always say, thank you all for coming. And always remain to be excellent to one another. Party on, and we'll see you at the next one on Monday. Have pride in your country. Fly the American flag. Remember, especially World War II. It's the war that really shaped who we are and how we get to where we are today. And it's remembrance of uncles, brothers, fathers who did not return from those conflicts. So, light your fag, be excellent, party on, and we'll see you at the next one. Good night, everybody.